Hello everyone and welcome to day 7 of the MBD Month of Mindset. We're talking about food today, so I've moved to my dining room and are we really surprised that I have a purple dining room? So I'm wearing my camo today, so I sincerely hope that you can see me and I'm not just blending in with the background. With food, there are lots of different ways that we can use food to positively impact our mindset. Okay, we can actually spend time enjoying food. We can make something that maybe from childhood that was sort of takes us back to those good memories, or even we can make something that reminds of a particular time and place. It doesn't necessarily just have to be childhood. I know that at my friends Andy and Vicky's wedding, they had this Norwegian cake called kransenkake. I think I've pronounced that right. And if I ever taste that ever again, I know that it will instantly transport me back to their wedding. And there are lots of different ways we can use food in that similar sort of vein. But the main problem with food is that we tend now to eat a lot and enjoy a little. And what I want to do today is an exercise that's going to recalibrate the balance of that. And I'm going to do it with this here bag of Doritos, or more specifically, this one Dorito. This bag is going all the way over there. It'll be clipped up in a bit, and well, I'm not even going to eat the rest of that. Okay, this is a huge thing for me. Historically, I couldn't do that. Doritos were one of the things that I would call a domino food. It doesn't mean I bought them from Domino's. What it means is that once I had one of them, I cannot carry on. I couldn't, stop myself, and I ended up going on to eat so many more of them. So I used to have to avoid them altogether. And this process of mindful eating was one of the actual things that helped me to finally get some sort of level of control over that. And what we do is with mindless eating or automatic eating, we sit in front of the TV and we focus on maybe looking at the TV, and we don't connect with the food whatsoever, right? We taste it maybe, and then we chew it a bit and we swallow, and then the whole process just goes by without us paying any attention. Mindful eating is about paying as much attention as possible and connecting with all 5 of our senses. And you're thinking, right, okay, smell, yeah, okay, I get that. Taste, okay, I get that. Touch, maybe, okay. Sight, yeah, okay, but sound of my food. If you are a meat eater, the sound of steak sizzling in a pan might be really satisfying to you. The one that we're going to go with here, well, you'll see in a bit. I will move back from the microphone when I actually chew it because, well, we don't need those noises, do we? But one of the things that we can connect with the sound of this and the touch of it, the texture of it, feeling it in our hands. I'm going to have like that sort of Dorito dust. I know I said Cheeto dust, but I'm going to have that Dorito dust on at least 4 of my fingers now. But that's all part of the experience. So what we're going to do now, if you want to play along, pause this and come back with a Dorito of your own or a piece of chocolate. Like I did this last year with a piece of chocolate. And if you'd actually rather go through it with a piece of chocolate, if you look up #MBD Month of Mindset, you can have last year's one. And I do this with chocolate, and I also do this with beer. There's not a kind of good or bad food. We're not using those type of labels. What we're actually just doing is connecting with the food and getting more of that sort of value out of a smaller amount. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start with my little Dorito here, is I'm going to look at it. And I picked this Dorito out the bag for a specific reason, because it's got all 3 of its points, which is oddly, strangely satisfying to me. All right, we've all got our things. Don't judge. So that's nice. It's actually also got this little hole here, which I can now, looking through, see you guys. Maybe if we get the sunlight going through it, we can draw some shapes on the wall. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at all the different ridges here. I'm going to turn it round. And as I'm turning it round, I'm also connecting with the feel of it in my hand. Okay. Now, you probably know, if you ever had a cold, that the smell, when your smell goes, a lot of the flavor goes too. That's because smell is very, very clearly linked to flavor. What we experience as flavor is partly responsible is the smell. So we're going to connect with the feel of it. I'm going to feel the edges of it, feel the shape, and just be mindful of what it feels like. Again, we're not judging the fact that right now I'm getting crumbs all over my fingers, which is actually beginning to be more of the dust on the fingers than on the Dorito. And the next one I'm going to do is smell. Now for smell, I'm going to essentially inhale the whole thing. I'm going to put it under my nose and I'm going to Now, smell, sound, or even thought of food, it basically connects with something called, I can't remember the word for it, but it's the first stage of digestion, and it's to do with your brain. So it's like, it's not cerebral, but it's that type of thing. It's to do with the upper part of your spine, your cervical, maybe, part of digestion. Okay. And that is what actually sets off some of the enzymes and some of the digestion process is done by that smell, sight, and sound. So actually, if you disconnect from the smell, sight, and sound of food, then you actually deactivate that part of digestion, which can lead to digestive difficulties. So right now, as soon as I smell that, I mean, I had lunch a few hours ago, so I'm not particularly starving right now, but I'm already getting like a feel of that bit of hunger. The anticipation's building. And the next one we're going to do, and normally I do this right next to me, but I'm going to do it right next to the microphone so you can hear it, is especially with chocolate, snap. It's a very satisfying thing. And we're going to just snap that. And now, along the ridge, like when you grind coffee beans, it releases the aroma. Along the ridge, that's going to be a more powerful smell now. We can look again, and I can see, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a little kind of air bubble in there where I've snapped it, and we can see sort of inside the crisp. Okay, and then from there, what I'm going to do, one more smell, and all I'm going to do is put this on my tongue. Now, I'll stop talking at that point because you're going to end up with, especially with the close mic, you're going to end up with loads of horrible noises on the mic, which is going to feel kind of disgusting. But what I'm doing is I'm allowing the taste buds in all the different areas of my mouth get some time. And I'm not just chewing and swallowing. I'm going to put this on my tongue, see how it feels when it's there, move it around in my mouth a little bit, see how it feels, paying attention to whether or not it excites different parts of the mouth or not. And then only once I've done that, am I going to then chew. I'm going to move back from the microphone. And then I'm going to swallow. And then I'm going to eat this second bit in the normal way. So this is going on my tongue now. Okay, I hope that wasn't too loud. I noticed then that I actually didn't chew to start with. I used my tongue and I pushed the Dorito up against the top of my mouth and crushed it that way as well, which was actually quite satisfying. And then as I did start to chew, you probably just heard a bit of my dog. As I did start to chew, there was different flavors in the back of my mouth and different experience than it was just on the tip of the tongue. So I'm going to do that with this whole piece now. I'm actually going to chew that like normal. But when you do it yourself, I want you to pay particular attention to where those flavors in your mouth, what the difference in the sensation is as you chew it, as you maybe suck it, and as you swallow it. So we're going to go do that now. Again, I'll step back from the mic. I might even pull this down in post-production in terms of the volume because I know that this can be an annoying sound to a lot of people. And that's it. I will save the finger licking for off camera in a second. I'm now going to close that. I'm not going to come back to it. And I've just got a huge amount of enjoyment from just that one Dorito. We can either eat a lot and enjoy a little, or we can eat a little and enjoy a lot, or we can do anything in between. Hope you found that useful, and I will be back tomorrow with the next mindset task.